Hello and welcome to Get Collected. I'm your host, Soul Brother Mike, and it's Tuesday, May 30th, 2017, and you're listening to Season 3, Episode 12. Get Collected is co-hosted by Chrissy Cochran.
Hello.
Today in What's the Deal, we'll be talking about some upcoming gigs, and here's something, Chrissy will be sharing her cover of a song by Brian Wilson. And then in the last part of today's show called Get Political, we're sharing 3 stories on Canadian politics. Now let's get to the show. So what's the deal? Here's the deal. Chrissy's going to tell you about some of her shows coming up this weekend. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about some shows we just had. This past weekend, we played some great shows. On Friday night, Chrissy and I played at the 1-year anniversary of the AVB podcast. That same evening, they did a live taping of the podcast, which was really amazing to see. And we also got to meet Spenny from the television show Kenny vs. Spenny. And I can't say enough how much I liked Spenny. He's a really sweet person who just opens himself up to everyone and everything, and he's very intelligent. Obviously, some of these traits make him more susceptible to pranks on the TV show, but in real life, these qualities are really endearing. And then on Saturday morning, I performed at the downtown Windsor Farmers Market. It was the first market of the season, and it was packed full of people. I won't be performing there this coming Saturday, but I will be performing there the following 3 Saturdays. So I'll mention that on future podcasts, but make sure you come out to the downtown Windsor Farmers Market on Saturday mornings.
So I'm going to be playing 4 gigs in a row this week. First, I'm playing at Mouthpiece on Thursday night in Windsor. That's a really special storytelling event that happens 4 times a year, and it's put on by my good friend, the poet and author Vanessa Shields. People come on stage and they tell a true story from memory in 5 minutes or less. There's a guest storyteller, a guest musician, and one storyteller gets crowned the winner of the night. People come on stage and they reveal these moments from their lives that make you laugh or cry, and the crowd's always really respectful. Honestly, it makes me feel grateful and human, and it's what I imagine church must feel like for religious people. So if that's not high enough praise, I don't know what is. Come see it yourself this Thursday. That's June the 1st at Villains Bistro in downtown Windsor. It starts at 7 o'clock with music from me, and it is a free event. Then I've got 2 private shows in a row. One is at a gala downtown, and the dress code's red carpet attire, so I'm pretty excited to put on a fancy dress. And then we're doing a wedding out in the county the next day. And on Sunday, I'm playing at the Art Walk in Sarnia on the main stage on Christina Street at 3 p.m. We're renting a car for this little adventure, and we're so excited to take a little road trip, spend some time at this awesome street festival. So please join us if you can. That's 3 p.m. on the main stage on Christina Street in Sarnia this Sunday, June the 4th. For more info on these events, please go to chrissycochran.com/dates. Today on Here's Something, I'm sharing with you a cover of the Brian Wilson song Melt Away. I first heard it done by Lewis Taylor, so I learned it from a cover. So my cover is like a cover of a cover. It doesn't really sound too much like a Beach Boys song, but it does have a little bit of that personality of Brian Wilson in the song. So take a listen to Melt Away. Hope you like it.
that same old feeling, and my blues just melt away, melt away. The world's not waiting just for me. The world don't care what I can be. I feel just like an island until I see you smiling, and my blues just melt away, melt away. I won't let you see me suffer, whoa, not me. I won't let you see me sighing, whoa, not me. Won't let you hear me crying, not me. Oh, oh, oh. Sometimes I close off to the world. You know I close off to you, girl. But when I hear you talking, I feel my heart unlocking, and my blues just melt away, melt away. Hey, 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 hey. And my blues just melt away, melt away. I won't let you see me suffer, whoa, not me. I won't let you see me sighing, whoa, not me. Won't let you hear me crying, not me. Oh, oh, oh. Sometimes I close off to the world. You know I close off to you, girl. But when I hear you talking, I feel my heart unlocking, and my blues just melt away, melt away. Melt away.
All right, that was Melt Away by Chrissy Cochran. Reach out to her on Twitter at Chrissy Cochran to let her know what you thought. And also, if you'd like to download and own that recording, simply subscribe to the Get Collected podcast on Patreon. So for $5 a month, you'll get access to all of the music that we feature in the Here's Something part of our show, which is often rare and otherwise unreleased. So go subscribe now at patreon.com/getcollected. All right, now for the last part of today's show called Get Political. Today, I'm sharing 3 news stories in Canadian politics. So first up, BC NDP leader John Horgan and BC Green Party leader Andrew Weaver made a joint announcement Monday afternoon that the BC Green Party will be supporting the NDP in the legislature. So after the last BC election, the Liberals held 43 of 87 seats, the NDP 41, and the Green Party 3. So not one party has more than half of the seats in the provincial assembly. Liberal Premier Christy Clark will try to govern and only needs one vote to have a majority to pass a budget. If she's unable to get a majority and pass a budget, the NDP will have the next chance. So together, the NDP and BC Greens will have 44 seats to the Liberals' 43. So this is a narrow majority, but it's still a majority nonetheless. And if their budget passes, NDP John Horgan will become the Premier of BC. If that fails, BC will be back to holding another election, and this is a very precarious situation as it only takes one person being sick that day and missing the first budget vote to send the whole province back to an election. So we'll just have to wait and see. And all the information for this story comes from CBC British Columbia. So now for the second story that I have for you today. Ontario MPP and Deputy Leader of the Ontario NDP, Jagmeet Singh, is the latest to announce a bid for National Party leadership. He's considered one dapper politician, having a feature article in GQ magazine this past February saying so. He's campaigning on the slogan, "Love and Courage," but has yet to announce much of a platform. This is very different from all other party leadership contenders who have come out with strong policy proposals. Now, I did reach out to Jagmeet in May 2016 about his position on a $15 minimum wage in Ontario, which Kathleen Wynne has just announced will come to Ontario in January 2019. To which he replied, "That's our position. We believe the minimum wage in Ontario should be $15. But so far, he hasn't really replied to that statement as of 2017. So his lack of a platform currently makes him the softest opposition to Justin Trudeau politically of the entire NDP leadership pack. And I personally hope photogenics don't outweigh politics in deciding the next leader of the party. So now for the final story that I wanted to share with you today. On Monday, Manitoba MP Nikki Ashton and NDP leadership contender has announced that she is pregnant and expecting to deliver her child in November 2017. She says this is sadly an issue for some, but that like millions of Canadian women, she will carry on her work. Also, unlike Jagmeet, she has no problem loudly declaring her platform, one that includes commitments to establishing universal childcare, offering free post-secondary tuition, and changing the electoral system, as well as expanding health coverage to include dental and mental care. So although the NDP leadership election is October 1st, 2017, the national election won't be until November 2019, when her child becomes 2 years old. Chrissy, how do you feel about this announcement? Personally, I think it's exciting and I find it to be hugely inspiring, actually.
I agree. I'm happy to see any prominent woman continuing her career while she's pregnant and or as she's going into motherhood. I think that movies and TV shows too often portray women as being unable to be good mothers and be good at their careers. And along with that, there's a lot of unfair pressure for women to totally sacrifice their identity when they become mothers, to quit their jobs or to stop putting effort into how they look and so on. I think that's kind of one of the scariest parts of being a mother is just dealing with other people's judgment all the time. I mean, we've got breast pumps, we have baby formula. There's nothing mom does for baby that dad or another caregiver can't do. But because not everyone thinks this way, I imagine a lot of people are going to immediately jump to saying that Nikki's pregnancy or her motherhood makes her less of a candidate, whereas I think motherhood is a major asset for a candidate because I think it brings your humanitarian priorities into focus, when it comes to what type of world your children are going to inherit and making sure that all kids and all families have access to affordable childcare, education, and opportunity.
All right, that's our show for today. Thanks so much for listening. Tune back in on Thursday for a special edition of Specific Awesomeness that will feature an interview with the artist that we find specifically awesome. So stay tuned and stay collected.